Hello, Malton. It's me, Zombie GG, bringing you the final part of my September 2024 conversation with SweetIrony, a player whose accomplishments and accolades include and are not limited to commanding the famous Battle of Blackmore with the new Malton Colossus, lecturing with the greatest at the Courtly Study Group, and hostessing the already legendary Urban Dead Reunion. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show.
I think the last thing I had said was, so we gave ourselves a name, the Blackmore Bastard Brigade, and then it was funny because on the RF forum they were like saying, "Those bastards," and I think we quoted it on the wiki page, like, they must like our name. They were kind of mad about it, and we were just having so much fun. It was all lighthearted for us.
Yeah, Blackmore was like with their sacred ground. And for you to just like go in there with such like a cavalier attitude, that was like so disrespectful and awesome at the same time. And then the fact that you were like successful, you were successfully like holding off for a bit against odds that were like, you would suggest maybe were 4-1 zombie survivor. Wow. What a story.
So I had recently moved to Hawaii at this time for grad school, and so I was kind of in this weird time zone where a lot of the American players would go to bed and I would still be up, and I'm a night owl, so I was like watching the barricades in the night, and we had a player in Australia too, so he and I were kind of the graveyard shift. And then we started to get more people coming in, like other groups. And so I got the idea, I wanted to see how many groups we could get represented. And so I started joining all the forums and telling them what was going on in the Blackmore and asking them, if you're interested, you want to send us at least one person from your group. And so you see that huge list on the wiki page of all the groups that ended up being involved in it. We had just tons of people, and we held out. It was almost 2 months. It was August 18th to October 13th. And in the end, it was Shack News that got us. The RF, they couldn't get us out of there, but Shack News just showed up and it was over. They were so coordinated, and it was like unheard of back then to have that many people striking at once and stuff.
Did you say like 2 weeks or 2 months?
It was 2 months,
2
almost
months.
Close to 2 months. And it was October 13th. It was actually Friday the 13th, and that was the day the Blackmore fell. And we were a little sad, but then it was
at the end of a good siege, I'm usually almost like ready for vacation. Like,
yeah, I think we had such a blast, and so just it was time for something else. And it sort of spawned, like, we had people, not everybody who was in the Blackmore, the first Blackmore battle, like, changed their group to Blackmore Bastard Brigade. Some people did and some people didn't, but people kept using that group name afterwards, and it became its own kind of thing. But I left because I had met the Courtly Study Group during the siege, and so I joined them at that point and left for the library.
That's so cool. Did you know Pibbit and Smelly Soccer Mom?
Yes, I did, and I wish I could find either one of them.
Smelly Soccer Mom's golden retriever Ellie. I used to always feed it RF bones. We did Poetry Thursdays for a bit when I came back to Urban Dead. We'd all just gang up over there and drop a little poetry. Some people would do like their own
That's awesome.
like personal poetry, like Urban Dead themed, and other people would just recite like real poems.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know about our lecture series, right?
No.
Okay. So this was the birth of the no kill zone and no barricades policy was during our lecture
Ooh.
series. And looking around in the forum, I figured out that I sort of accidentally created the lecture series because I was looking at my PMs with Sir Fred and I misunderstood. I guess they were going to have a debate or something. And so they were asking about getting like zombie players to come to Portly. And I thought it was like they wanted speakers, like a series of speakers. So I was like, yes, I'm going to invite all the zombie players I know.
Oh my gosh.
So we ended up with a lecture series. So most of them got a revive first, although Wolfgang Puck gave his speech entirely in Zomger, which was amazing. But so we got people to come and give talks about whatever topic they wanted to talk about, and some were more serious. It's all on the wiki. Some were more serious about, playing the game as a zombie or different things like that.
Was it like, what was the general vibe as far as like serious or comedy?
It really varied. So I think a lot of them were more funny.
Okay.
I'm looking sustainable brain harvesting, zombie
What?
courtship and sexual harassment. So that was just David. So he talked about that, but then he also talked about survivor power balance and strategy, right?
Okay, that's kind of serious.
We had Ketchelbank or Bust, who was from the Malton Zookeepers, and he talked about applied moral hedonism in regards to exotic animal husbandry and cooking.
Oh god.
So we had a lot of very interesting talks, and so during that, so we started out, we were still barricading the library, but we had people who wanted to attend the lectures as a zombie, and so we would take down the barricades and let them in, put the barricades back up, and it got kind of annoying, and we decided maybe we'd just leave the barricades down and see what happened. So at some point during that lecture series, we just stopped barricading the library, and we would actually take the barricades down if someone came in and barricaded. And just, standing around with a bunch of zombies. We had PKers, all sorts of people that came to it. We had RRF come and speak and stuff, and it was just so much fun. And I loved the, I don't know, like deviant way that we were like not playing the game right. Our whole thing was like literacy and like knowledge and learning, and so it was like, we don't care if you're a survivor or a zombie, come check a book out. And yeah, so I was saying, we had a couple of the Broadway zombies come. Andrea Doria came, and they were a great group. They would perform Broadway shows as zombies. And my alt, Dr. Ransom, was my group, my little zombie horde. We played the hyenas in The Lion King, and that's on the wiki. They performed that at the zoo.
Wow.
And then, so that the lecture series, the sort of crowning achievement was that I got the warlord of the Mall Tour, whose name I'm not sure how you actually pronounce. Do you know how to say XYU?
No, it sounds Aztec or something.
However you say his name, I invited him to give a lecture because the Mall Tour was on its way. And we actually got him a brain rot revive shortly before the Mall Tour came through, and he came in the library and gave a speech, and then we all died. because the malts were swept through Roftwood, and that was the end of the lecture series.
What a emphatic way to end such a unique
Hmm.
event.
And by the way, I ransacked the library myself.
Yeah. That is the cherry on top of the sundae right there. I love it.
Yeah, so that was fun. They were great. I was thinking about the QSG and how we had so many people from different groups come in to do lectures and stuff, and I found I had forgotten about this, but we had a talent show in the Courtly, and that was super fun. And I was thinking like maybe I need to try to set something up because I just think it would be so fun to have something again where we could have some zombies and survivors hang out together. I want to see RRF and like Babble Rabble and CRS, and I don't know. I would just love to get like everybody in one spot. It's funny, I was thinking about that, how repeatedly it's kind of what I do with the Blackmore, inviting people from other groups in. And then with the lecture series, I was contacting zombie players and trying to get them in to do a lecture. And now I'm tracking down the old players and inviting them to the reunion. So I guess that's sort of my thing. And with the reunion, I kind of enjoy the challenge of trying to find people. Um, and just because it's the players that made the game fun and made the game what it is and what it was. And so just being able to sort of reconnect with someone, see how they're doing, and just know like it wasn't just that character name. Like there's a person behind that, and getting to know that who that person is a little bit, I enjoy.
Welcome back, Malton. This concludes my September 2024 conversation with the spectacular SweetIrony from the famed New Malton Colossus, Courtly Study Group, and so much more, including hostessing the already legendary Urban Dead reunion. This ZGG Fireside Chat is a post-apocalyptic production proudly presented to you by me, Zombie GG, and my guest, SweetIrony. Thanks for listening, Malton. It has been an honor.